Now, students, we will discuss about the magnetic force on a current carrying conductor placed in uniform magnetic field. We have discussed about when a charge is moving in a magnetic field with a velocity, what is the force acting on the charge? That we have discussed. Magnetic Lorentz force, Q V cross D. Now here we will discuss about not a charge, a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, uniform magnetic field. What is the force? Magnetic force acts on the conductor. First we should clear that is there any magnetic force acts on the conductor? Yes or no? Yes. Magnetic force acts on the conductor. Why? As you know, when a current carrying conductor means it consists of free electrons and the electrons move with drift velocity. That drift velocity gives you the current. I is equal to NaEVD. N is the concentration of electron or the number of electrons per unit volume. A is the area cross section of the conductor and E is the charge of the electron and Vd is the drift velocity. So already you know that. So when a current is flowing in the conductor, then obviously the conventional current is one direction. In the opposite direction, the electrons are moving or flowing in the conductor. So the electrons are flowing in the conductor. That is clear. If the electrons flows in the conductor, then as you know, when a charged particle is moving in a magnetic field, obviously the electron is inside the conductor, but it is moving in the magnetic field. There is an external magnetic field. So if the electron moves in the external magnetic field, it experiences a force. And as there is not a single electron, there are so many number of electrons are drifting opposite to the direction of flow of current. Generally we are taking. So the conventional current is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. So when the electrons are drifting from one end to another end, because of the current gives, and that electron flow gives a magnetic force acts on the electron, as so many electrons are drifting, so the net magnetic force acting on the electrons that transmit to the conductor. So obviously the conductor experience force. Obviously the conductor experience force, right? So now in what way we will derive the expression for the force. So let us consider there is a conductor. Let us consider there is a conductor of area cross section A. Let us consider there is a conductor of area cross section A and length L. Let L be the length of the conductor and carries a current. So the current is flowing in this direction, I. So obviously the electrons will be drifted in a opposite direction. Is placed in a uniform magnetic field. Let us take a uniform magnetic field like this, equidistance, equispaced parallel lines. This is the uniform magnetic field. The conductor is placed in a uniform magnetic field like this. Let B is the uniform magnetic field. And the conductor is placed in the uniform magnetic field. Here is a current I, L is the length, and obviously A is the area of cross section. Let A is the area of cross section of the conductor. Clear? Now what I have considered here, the first point is the L is the length of the conductor, I current in the conductor, B uniform uniform magnetic field, A, area cross section of the conductor, area of cross section of the conductor, clear? So these are the parts we have taken, I, A, B and L. Now as you know, the N, let N be the number of electrons per unit volume. Number of electrons per unit volume in the conductor. Vd, the drift velocity of the electrons in the conductor. Because of current, these are the drift velocity of electrons in the conductor, right? And another thing we can say that the conductor is placed, let the conductor is placed at an angle theta with the magnetic field. Theta is the angle between, or theta is the angle made by the conductor, with the magnetic field. Here you tell me what is the angle, which angle we will take. This is theta. Here what angle we will take. Now already you know that if the current is along this direction, so the length is along the direction of current. When you take the small element, that is along the direction of current. So current is along this direction means this angle obviously will take as theta. Because this is the magnetic field, this is the current direction. The electron moves along this direction, but this angle is theta. So theta is the angle made by the conductor with the magnetic field, means the length makes an angle theta with the magnetic field. And what is the direction of this conductor means? In what direction the current is flowing, that is the direction of length of the conductor. That we have considered in this part. Clear? Then, next we will find out. All these things are clear? Now we will do one by one. So first what I will do, take one electron. What is the force acting on that electron? That is equal to Q V cross P, force on the electron, magnetic force. So first part we will do the force. First part is the magnetic force. The magnetic, so this is current I. The magnetic force acting on an electron. Here I will consider direction part. So let me take this as Fm, or small, also the Fm, small f, magnetic force Fm is equal to, what we will take? The charge of the electron, it is negative because we are considering direction, so here the positive or negative should be considered. Minus E into, what is the velocity of the electron? It is moving with the drift velocity, Vd. F is equal to Q V cross B. Here Vd cross the magnetic field B. That is the equation number 1. Clear? Now, let us consider the conductor is divided into small elements of length dl. Let us consider the conductor is taken as small elements like dl. Clear? And let the conductor make small elements like this small element is let the magnitude is dl. Clear? And now consider a conductor has small elements dl. So in these small elements, what is the number of electrons? I will find out. Number of electrons in the small element of the conductor, number of electrons in the small element of the conductor is equal to, what do we write here? See, number of electrons in the small element of the conductor, it is the number of electrons per unit volume. Then what is the volume of this one? It is number of electrons per unit volume into volume of this element. Volume of this element means area into length, NaDl. Clear? Then number of electrons in a small element of the conductor, NaDl. Then charge in the small element. What is the charge in the small element? Charge in the small element is equal to, let that is dq, for the small element dq, NaDl. This is the number of, and each electron is a charge E, so like this is the magnitude is NeADL. Let me write this as NeADL. Right? So this is the number of electrons. Sorry, the charge in the small element. dq is equal to NeADL. Let me take this as equation number 2. Clear? So this is the force on one electron, and in the small element, this is the charge. That already we know that. So magnetic force experienced by the conductor. So the magnetic force experienced by the small element, as I have already told, in this small element, what is the number of electrons? This much of electrons. Each electron experiences force how much? This much. So this much into this, that is the net force on this electrons in this element. So magnetic force experienced by the small element, magnetic force experienced by the small element of the conductor, let that is equal to dFm, capital, because of the small force, so small element dFm is equal to, now what is the charge here? Charge is equal to E is there, NaDl, so minus E for one. How many electrons are there? This much, NaDl, this much of the electrons, into obviously BD cross B. For one is this much, for one electron this much, for this much of electrons, like this. So dFm is equal to minus NaEdl, right? So NaDl BD cross B. Clear? Now we can write here, but now this is equation number 3. Clear? Now let me take as drift velocity d is equal to, what is the drift velocity of the electron? Here this is equal to length dl by dt. That is also one expression, Vd is equal to dl by dt. But here I will take a negative sign. Why? This electron, the dl is along this direction, along the direction of current, but the electron is moving opposite. So dl is along this direction, the electron is opposite. So that's why it is a minus dl by dt. So I can write dl is in a direction opposite to the, why you have taken this, dl is opposite to bd, because always the small element dl along this direction, this is dl, but drift velocity is along this direction, this is the drift velocity, they are opposite. So that's why this is a minus sign. So bd is equal to minus dl by dt. Clear? This is one part. And another thing is that what? So already you know that 2, this is equation 3, and let this is equation number 4. Okay. Now we put that, and now dFm. Now come to this one from equation 3. In equation 3, take the equation number 3. dFm, that the force in the small element, dFm equal to, take this as a minus, so we can write this as dFm is equal to, what we can write here, see, NaEdl. Where this NaEdl? This one. What is this NaDl? dq. So I can write dq. Obviously minus sign is there. Minus NaEdl. NaEdl according to equation 2. What is Vd? That is minus dl by dt. Minus dl by dt. And what is that B? B as it is B. Clear? So minus minus plus, so I can write dFm is equal to plus, I can write this as dl, so I can write dq, let me write plus, so this is dq by dt dl cross d. Minus and plus, so dt can be written here or here, this is the same thing, right? Now we can write what is dq by dt? Rate of change of charge, rate of change of charge, I dq by dt, I, so this is dFm is equal to I dl cross d. This is the magnetic force in the small element dl. But this is consists of a total length L. So the net force on this conductor. Next is the net. Next. Force experienced by the conductor. Fm. That should be integration of dFm. That should be equal to integration of I dl cross d for the whole length. I dl cross d. So this means equation what? I dl cross d. So I can write this implies Fm, magnetic force on the conductor, Fm is equal to, this is I integration of dl. So B is a uniform. So I integration of dl is what? L cross B. Total length is L, I L cross B. So this is the force on the conductor. Clear? So I dl cross D. So this is equal to force on the conductor. So Fm is equal to I L cross B. And the other thing is that what is the magnitude of the force? This is in vector form. Next, what is the magnitude of the force? We write the magnitude of the force. Magnitude of the force Fm, the magnetic force means Fm, I and B sin theta. That is the form. Where theta is the angle between L and B. Length is in what direction? The length is taken along the direction of current. Clear? So this is the magnet. And what is the direction of this force? The direction of force is perpendicular to the plane containing what? Containing L and B. The plane containing L and B. So in this figure, the force is perpendicular to the plane containing L and B. Whether inward or outward, that can be known by which can be determined by Fleming's left hand rule. Or there is another called as the palm rule. We will discuss that. The direction of this can be determined by Fleming's left hand rule. Clear? So this is the direction of Fm. Clear? Using Fleming's left hand rule. Then we will go to the case 1 and case 2 here. Already we read about Fleming's left hand rule. We will discuss here again. But first let me take some cases. So the force is perpendicular to the plane containing L and B. So in this case, the conductor is here. The magnetic field is here. The current is along this direction. And obviously the length is along this direction. Length is along this current direction. And this angle is theta. And the force is perpendicular. Outward or inward to the plane. Means all these are in this plane. The force will be upward or downward in the conductor. That is most important thing. It is not in this plane. It is the other plane. Okay. Then case 1. Next we will go to the case 1. When theta is equal to 0 degree or 180 degree. Means what? The conductor is placed, current carrying conductor placed parallel or anti-parallel to the magnetic field. Theta is 0 or 180. That is current carrying conductor is placed parallel or anti-parallel to the magnetic field, to the direction of magnetic field. Then sin theta, sin 0 0, sin 180 0. So sin theta is 0. So the force. Then this is the force Fm is equal to 0. No force acts on the conductor. If this is the magnetic field and the conductor is placed parallel or anti-parallel, then there is no force on this conductor. Clear? Case 1. Right? Next, case 2. When theta is equal to 90, that is the current carrying conductor is placed perpendicular to the direction. Perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Perpendicular direction of magnetic field. So sin theta is sin 91. That is maximum. If this one is maximum, then what about force? If this one is maximum, then what about force? Fm is equal to simply ILB, which is the maximum force. If the conductor is placed perpendicular to the magnetic field, then it experiences a maximum force. In what direction? Perpendicular to the direct plane containing the conductor and the magnetic field. Both are in this plane, on this plane. So it will be along this direction, perpendicular, or along this direction. Inward or outward, that can be determined by the Fleming's left hand rule. Right? Now we will go to the Fleming's left hand rule. Clear? Now I will go to the switch over to Fleming's left hand rule. Let me write the rule. Already you read about this. Only for discussion part, we are discussing this Fleming's left hand rule. For to recall that, I am discussing about the Fleming's left hand rule. So let me write the Fleming's left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule. Right? Stretch the left hand. Stretch the left hand such that the which are the figures? Such that the forefinger or the first finger, comma middle finger and the thumb stretch the left hand such that the thumb finger, middle finger, forefinger, middle finger and the thumb are mutually perpendicular to each other. Clear? Take your left hand, stretch the forefinger, middle finger and the thumb in mutually perpendicular direction, are mutually perpendicular to each other. Right? Next, when the forefinger, when the forefinger points in the direction of magnetic field, points in the direction of magnetic field, means that is B. Forefinger points in the direction of magnetic field. Clear? Then in the magnetic field, and central finger points in the direction of current I, direction of current, then the thumb gives the direction of force Fm, gives the direction of force Fm on the conductor, gives the direction of force on the conductor, right? So this is the Fleming's left hand rule. Again I am repeating the Fleming's left hand rule. In charge case, you are taking here the current direction is different, everything is same. Forefinger, middle finger, thumb. Forefinger points direction of magnetic field. This gives the direction of current. This will give you the direction of force. So these two are in this plane, force is perpendicular. Or if these two are in this plane, this is perpendicular. So they are mutually perpendicular, right? So this is the Fleming's left hand rule. So this is about the force on the conductor, okay? But if this is the case, the force, and that can be determined by the Fleming's left hand rule. Then another thing we can say, sir, we also can find this one by the palm rule also. By the palm rule. Clear? So by the palm rule means what? If this is the direction of current, this is the direction of current, take the right hand. If this is the direction of magnetic field, the fingers, the thumb in the direction of current, then the palm points in the direction of force. Means you will push like this. This is the same case. Current perpendicular. Let's face this one. This is magnetic field, the fingers in the magnetic field. This is the current. B and I. Current is flowing in like this. Then the palm will push in what direction? In this direction. So this will give you the direction of force. That is also another rule. Okay. Okay. Next, we will discuss about force between two infinitely long straight parallel conductors carrying current. Two parallel conductors, infinitely long parallel conductors placed so that they will experience a force and there is a force between them. We will calculate that expression for that force. First we should understand, are there any force experienced by these two conductors? Yes or no? First we will discuss. Let me show this one. Let us consider there is a conductor 1 conductor. This is an infinitely long conductor, infinitely long. This is infinitely long, some portion of this conductor, and there is another conductor which is placed parallel. These are placed parallel. Clear? Let these are the two conductors placed parallel. Let the separation between these two conductors is D. D is the separation between these two conductors, and these conductors carrying current I1, suppose I1 current in this conductor, I1, let me write outside this one, I1 in this conductor, and I2 current in this conductor are in the same direction. Let the current flowing in these two conductors in the same direction. Then we will go for opposite direction. If the current is flowing in a opposite direction. First we will understand that when these two current carrying conductors are placed side by, then are there any force exert between them? Yes. Why? Now we have discussed that if this is a current carrying conductor, clear? Let me take this is let the conductor is X and this is Y. So this is the X conductor and there is a Y conductor. They are placed like this. So forget about this Y. When there is an X conductor, it carries a current I. According to Biot-Savart's law, this current carrying conductor will produce a magnetic field around it. So it will produce a magnetic field around it like this. This will produce a magnetic. What is the direction of this magnetic field? Hold the conductor, thumb gives the direction of current, this gives the direction of magnetic field. So this will produce a magnetic field. So this will produce a magnetic field around it like this. These are the magnetic field concentric rings, or field lines are like this, and this is a conductor. If the second conductor Y is placed, obviously this is I1 suppose, if this conductor Y is placed in this magnetic field of first conductor, because the first conductor, because of its current, it produces its magnetic field. Suppose its magnetic field is V1. In this magnetic field, the second conductor which carries current I2 is placed in this magnetic field. Now, recently we have discussed that if a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. So it will experience a force. Clear? Similarly, if this is the current, it will also produce its magnetic field around it like this. It will also produce its magnetic field. So within this magnetic field, its magnetic field, the second conductor is placed. So a current carrying conductor placed in this magnetic field of the second one, Y. A current carrying conductor placed in the magnetic field of the Y. Then it also experiences a force. So there must be a force between these two conductors. Is that clear? Now we will derive the expression. Clear? So now we will derive the expression. Now let me, what we have taken, I1 and I2 is the current in these two conductors, and like that. Now, first the same procedure. Magnetic field, I will find out the magnetic field at a distance D due to the current I1 in the conductor X. First I will find out, because the second conductor is at what place? At a distance D from the first conductor X. So, first I will write, all these things you will write and you will get the note, but I am writing this part. Magnetic field at a distance D, from the conductor X carrying current I1 is given by Biot-Savart's law. Magnetic field at a distance R from an infinite conductor. So let the distance B1 for the first conductor. This is B1 is equal to mu naught by 4 pi to current I1, distance is D. This is the magnitude of the magnetic field at a distance D. In what direction it is directed? That is most important thing. In what direction this will be directed? So the direction will be what? The B1 direction is what? Long straight current carrying conductor. Hold the conductor. The current is in this direction. Hold. So it is perpendicular inward. So at this, in this region, it is in this region at the point D. So I will show this direction of the magnetic field is perpendicular inward. So at this point, I can show that magnetic field B1 is like this. It is inward. So this is the magnetic field inward at this point. Clear? This is inward. Or I can show on this conductor also. We can show this is the magnetic field B1 perpendicular inward. Perpendicular inward. So let me write the direction. The direction of B1, the direction of B1 with reference to y is perpendicular inward to the plane of the conductor. This is in this plane, perpendicular inward. Clear? So this is the perpendicular inward. Now, so this is the magnetic field. In this magnetic field because of this conductor, in this magnetic field I have placed another conductor Y, carries current I2, length whatever may be the infinite length. Let me consider sum of its length L2. I will take sum of its length is L2. Clear? So next we will find out force. So let me write here also. Force on the conductor Y. Force on the conductor Y carrying current I2 placed in the magnetic field, B1. Force on the conductor Y carrying current I2 placed in the magnetic field B1 is what I will take here? What is the formula for B? Sorry, force F2. Let that force is F2 for the second one. So F2 is equal to, I will write F2 is equal to, what is the formula? I2, let the length is L2 cross, what is the magnetic field? B1. Because this is the magnetic field here, B1. Or F2 is equal to I2 L2 B1. What is the angle between L2 and B1? The length is in this plane. Magnetic field is perpendicular. What is the angle? Magnetic field is perpendicular inward. And the conductor is like this. Magnetic field is perpendicular inward like this. Then what is that? Oh, this theta 90. So L2 B1 sin 90. So F2 is equal to I2 L2 B1. Right? So this is the force on the conductor. Force on the conductor Y carrying current I2 placed in the magnetic field B1. Of length you can also add here. Of magnetic field B1, of length L2 is this much. Right? So this is the F2. Clear? So now in this case, force per unit length, let me find, because this is an infinite conductor, so force per unit length, let me find. The force per unit length, force per unit length, that is the concept, force per unit length of the conductor, force per unit length on the conductor Y, that is F2 by L2 is equal to I2 B1. And L2 is per unit length, so let me take this L2 is equal to 1 unit. So F2 is equal to, simply you can write F2 is equal to I2, what is B1? Mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 by D. So F2 is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 by D. And remember dear students, this is the force per unit length. The force on the length L2 is what? Force on the length L2. Force on the length L2. Force on the length L2. Suppose it is not infinite, but if you consider the length L2, this length is, suppose I will consider L2 length, then force on the length L2 of the conductor Y means what we will write? F2 is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 by D into L2. That is also a formula. Now come to the direction part, that is most important. Use the Fleming's left hand rule. This is the force, magnitude of the force. What is the direction? Go to the Fleming's left hand one. Stretch the fingers like this. This gives you the direction of this. This is the direction of magnetic field. Here magnetic field is perpendicular inward. Here this gives the direction of current. Current upward. So I will place like this. Current here. Magnetic field. Current. Force. Perpendicular to the plane. So this will be the force F2. This is the direction of force F2 on the conductor. Clear? So force, applying Fleming's left hand rule. So this formula is most important. F2 is equal to this one. Applying Fleming's left hand rule. Applying Fleming's left hand rule. The direction of force on the conductor Y is, the force on the conductor Y is directed towards X. Applying Fleming's left hand rule, direction of force on the conductor Y is directed towards X. Similarly, you go for this one. Clear? Now what I will do is, so see, I will do the second case also. I will write here simply magnetic field at D, magnetic field at D distance from conductor Y carrying current I2 is B2. For this it is B2, mu naught by 4 pi, mu naught by 4 pi 2 I2 its current divided by B. What is this direction? The current in this direction. Conductor is here, the point is here, suppose, at any point on this part. So the current is along this direction. Hold this. This finger tips in what? Perpendicular upward. So I will show this current is here. So the magnetic field B2 cross upward. So this is my B2. Okay. The direction of B2 is perpendicular upward with reference to for what? Which one? With reference to conductor X. For X conductor, this is perpendicular upward. Clear? Now, force on conductor X of length L1. I will take this length L1. It carries a current I1 in a magnetic field B2. What is the force? F1 is equal to I1, its current, length L1 in a magnetic field B2. This is the magnetic field by this one. L1 B2, B2 perpendicular upward. L1, this length on this plane, magnetic field is upward. They are perpendicular. So magnitude of F1, I1, L1, B2. Theta 90 between L1 and B2. Clear? Then put that B2. B2 is equal to, put that B2, so F1 is equal to I1 L1, what is B2? Mu naught by 4 pi 2 I2 by D. F1 is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 by B into L1. Length on force on the length L1. Force per unit length. Force per unit length on the conductor. On the conductor. X is what is the force? F1 as L1 is equal to 1 unit per unit length. F1 by L1 is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 by D. That is the force per unit length. Both are of same magnitude. For length L2 that is into L2, for length L1 into L1. Per unit length both are same. Now the most important thing, what is the direction? According to Fleming's left hand rule, this direction of magnetic field perpendicular outward, like current in this direction. What is the force? Like this. Force is towards the conductor. Y. This is the force F1. So the force is attractive. Like currents, both the cases, current in the same direction. Like current, force is attractive. Like charges, repel. But the current is like current means both are in the same direction. If the current in that both the conductor in same direction, the force is attractive. So they attract each other. Clear? So here the direction of F1 is towards the conductor Y according to Fleming's left hand rule. According to Fleming's left hand rule. Short form I have written Fleming's left hand rule. Clear? So this is the formula for the force on a conductor. Is that clear? So the force formula means in general you can write force per unit length of a conductor. Force per unit length in a conductor. When two conductors are placed, the force per unit length is mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 by separation between the two conductors. Is that clear? Next point. If I will ask you, so okay, another thing is that the two forces means attractive. So let me write this one. Now we write the conclusion here. Conclusion is that two long straight conductors carrying current, two length straight conductors, two long straight parallel conductors carrying current in the same direction, two long parallel conductors carrying current in the same direction attract each other. That is most important thing. Attract each other. Or you can say, or that is also called like currents. Means both are in the same direction. Like currents attract, to remember that, attract each other. Similarly, we can prove that, or we can show that unlike currents means opposite direction. Unlike currents repel each other. Unlike currents repel each other means if this is a conductor X, this is a conductor Y, it carries current I1, it carries current I2, opposite direction. Then the force F2 opposite, here the force F1, sorry, here F2 opposite, here on this conductor F1 opposite. So they will be opposite because in this part the magnetic field is here, yes, this one. But for this conductor, now the current is along this direction. So here also the perpendicular for this one. On this region, it is also perpendicular inward. So this is the magnetic field. So in this case, B1, here suppose B2. They are in the same direction, perpendicular inward. So the force will be opposite. Clear? Force will be opposite. Clear? So remember this. Similarly, you can show that unlike currents repel each other. Clear? Then another question if I will ask you, what is the magnetic field at the midway d by 2 from here and again from here d by 2? A point where this both are d by 2. At this point, what is the net magnetic field? Because of that 2. Here the magnetic field is what? In both the cases, the magnetic field is like that. They are equal and opposite. Suppose same current in these two, I and I. So the magnetic field is equal to 0. If both are in the same currents, then the magnetic field will be 0 at midway or midpoint between the two. Okay, at a point exactly halfway between the two infinitely long straight conductors or wires carrying same current. Remember, both are carrying same current. Then I will ask a question, one mark. What is the magnetic field at a point midway between the two long straight conductors carrying same current? Is 0. Because at this point d by 2, what is the magnetic field at this point? For this one, the magnetic field is mu naught by 4 pi 2I by d by 2 at this distance. Here it is perpendicular inward for this one. If the current is along this direction, for this mu naught by 4 pi same current 2I by d by 2, it is perpendicular outward, equal and opposite. The net magnetic field is 0. But if the current is in opposite direction, in the same question, let me write this one, explain that more clearly. Let me explain this more clearly. The magnetic field for this conductor X and Y, a point which is a midway between these two. Current I, this carries current I. For the magnetic field midway, D is equal to 0. If this total distance is D is 0. But if the current is in opposite direction, point P, which is d by 2, for the magnetic field, for this one, D is equal to, in this case both are in the same, perpendicular inward, here is perpendicular inward for this one. So at this point, both are same, so they will add up. So B is equal to B1 plus B2, both are same magnitude, so you can say 2B1. What is B1 already you know? 2 into, for one, anyone you can calculate, mu naught, for infinite, current I, mu naught by 4 pi, 2I by d by 2. So this 2 multiply here, so we will get 4 times mu naught by 4 pi 2I by d. But here we will get 0. That is a 1 mark question. Magnetic field at a point. Okay. So my total point is that the force per unit length of a conductor is mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 by separation between the two conductors. That is my point. To derive that, then this will be a 3 mark question. Okay. And like currents, if the current in the both the conductors same direction, then they attract. This is the case like when you take a solenoid, the turns are like that. That is the solenoid. The number of turns are closely packed turns. When the current flows in the solenoid, so this is one turn. Current is along this direction. When it enters to this turn, it is in the same direction. So that in both the turns, nearby turns, the current is in the same direction. So this is like the two parallel conductors placed like. So there will be attractive. That's why in the solenoid when the current flows, in each turn, nearby turn, the current direction is same. So they attract each other. Means the length of the conductor contracts. It decreases. If the solenoid terms are like this. When the current flows, they contract. They come closer and closer like this. The length decreases. That is also a reasoning question. When the current flows in the solenoid, it contracts, the length decreases. This is the reason. Clear? Okay. Well, students, go through this one, and this is the about the force between two parallel current carrying conductors, and we have discussed about the force on a long straight current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. These are two questions. There may be a 2-3 mark questions. Both are the 3 mark questions it may be asked. Okay.